Morning guys, so Saturday morning, Easter weekend here. I'm just assuming it's over the rest of the world. I know it probably isn't in Australia, but I'm not sure about other countries whether it is Easter weekend or not. But anyway, so I thought I'd bolt this back in here since I'd altered that. Just reshaped that bottom bracket and took the rivets out of the bottom here and whatever. Thought I'd just bolt it back in here and have a quick look at it. I've actually noticed one thing, and I don't know whether it's always been like that and just never picked it up, but it's very flat through here and it's quite roundy through here. Profile gauge. So I sit that on here and we push down. So I'm going from the rivet on here where the top bracket goes on down to as far as it goes. So if I turn it around, it should be the same, but it's not. You can probably see that. It's got this huge gap at each end. Like if I hold it flat across here, we're talking, like I can put my finger in there. So something's quite wrong there with the shape of that, which is a bit of a worry. So I don't know whether it's been dropped or squashed or something, or whether it's just always been like that and never picked it up. But anyway, so that means really I need to put the radiator back in here. Which also means I'm probably going to have to fit a lot of the front sheet metal just to make sure that it all fits together properly still, and reshape something here. Just, I don't know whether I've got to try and squeeze in and pull this up or what. And hope like hell that I don't screw up something with the hood tops. Or whether something's been screwed up while this has been away, because it's been away for a long time and it's never had anything done to it. And it's very hard to tell whether it has been bumped and squashed and whatever, and twisted out of shape or whatever, I don't know. I think it's possibly been like this all the way along, but I've never picked it up. I just put it on there before and had a look and it was like, why does it look all queer at the top? It's almost like this is pushed out more and it hasn't got enough curve in one or the other, you know what I mean? So I really need to put all the front sheet metal on. Probably the balance, probably not quite so critical about these pieces. They don't really fit, affect how this fits. Get that on. Get this bracket back in here with some little bolts, get that at least bolted on so we can fit the brace from here to here, and then probably put the hood, at least the tops on to see if it's fitting, and probably the sides as well. I didn't really want to have to assemble them until I had them all polished. But we have got a month before we want to send this stuff away. And I've also got to clean up all the other pieces that I want nickeled. I had a bit of a tidy up on that bench because I was trying to find the bolts and bits and pieces to put that on with. So I found them once I had a bit of a clean up. Just had to sort out and just got rid of some junk off that bench. But yeah, I need to really assess what's going on here. There's a bit of a worry. So yeah, I don't know whether something's happened to it or whether it was just like that and never picked it up, which is weird. Like I thought I would have seen that because it's quite full there and very almost flat. I don't know. So we need to, because when I had it, originally when I had it on, I had it all fitting, I had all the pieces on. Now we had it measured from each side to there, across, crisscrossed, and when I had all the fenders and everything on, I had it measured from one of the, whatever the ribs is in the fender, or from there, I had that almost even, like within a millimetre or whatever. And I think I even had it from the headlight bar, I think I even had that measurement within a bee's dick, if you know what I mean. So yeah, at that point it was sat square and straight, like all these measurements all lined up. I could get it sitting really nice and square, obviously that way, sideways and whatever. Like I had it sitting there really nice, but I just had a quick measure with it sitting there just like that, without obviously any brackets in it. It was something really weird and off, but I have changed that down there, so that's why I refitted it. But I didn't realise this here was, for some reason, a strange shape. So yeah, that worries me. So I can fix it, but I need to make sure everything else fits first. So the next plan is not to worry about that for a few minutes, but is to clean. Like this radiator's all been done, but unfortunately it's never been prepped and painted. So I can't paint the core itself because it is the grille. So I want to clean up all these brackets, mask out obviously the actual grille itself, both sides, and obviously get all this stuff cleaned up, both sides, and yeah, get all this painted up. Unfortunately, they never did it when they obviously did the tanks. This is all brass by the looks of it. So yeah, I need to sort that out, and yeah, work this out. So yeah, I don't know whether this would have been maybe painted as silver or something. I don't really know. But yeah, it's in pretty good shape. It's not dead perfect, but it's in pretty good shape. So, but yeah, I'd like at least to get all this stuff cleaned up and painted black. Why they never done that when they had to put it together, I don't know. Because I repaired all these pieces, and then we gave it to the guy to put on. But you know, we thought maybe he might have cleaned up, and we've had it sitting in the corner for ages, and it's freaking got really quite scabby looking. So I need to clean it up, treat it, and then at least test fit it, bolt it all back in the surround, because this will alter the shape of it, obviously. The way it bolts in there, and then see if I can get that to fit right. We'll have roughly the right shape both sides, and test fit at least the hood tops to make sure that they sort of sit there properly. It's a bit of a curse when we thought we had it all fitting properly. But yeah, so I need to clean this stuff up. Give this a light scuff back, I guess, treat it with some rust converter, and then I'll spray it black, rattle can black, and just mask everything else out, cardboard in here and whatever else to clean it all up, you know, to cover it. So this will be black. I assume it would be just natural, but I don't know. End of the day, we could find a nice clean silver and spray it silver or something like that. I don't really know. But it's funny how they never nickeled it or chromed it or whatever. Unless they did happen to particularly nickel these or something stupid like that, I don't know. It's a wonder, I don't know. But yeah, we need to at least clean it up and half prep it and then fit it back in there and know that it's right and carry on from there, I guess. So I'll clean this up. Righty, so I've neutralised all the rust, hopefully. I haven't done around the water necks on this. So hopefully I'll just have that cure off properly and dry and whatever. And then I'll give it a light scuff, and I actually need to make sure I've actually got some black spray can here. I don't think I do actually. I think I'm out. I think let's itch. I think I might have a little bit left in there, but it's probably not enough to. Yeah, a little bit in there. Might be enough just to put a light coat on there, but it's pretty empty. I need to go get some more. I actually meant to do that a wee while ago. I need to write myself a wee shopping list. But yeah, it's cool. So I got that cleaned up. And Ross killed. I need to check to see what the time is. Because I'll probably bugger off and have some lunch and then I'll come back. Even though it's Saturday, but because I had Wednesday off for cousin's funeral. And then yesterday was a public holiday with being Easter, Good Friday. I thought I'd better work all, most of the day today. Now, I won't work at all, but I'll work a fair chunk of it. I might work till 3 o'clock or something like that, just to help bring the hours back up. So yeah, I've done that both sides, and I've tried to get down in here the best I could. And on the front side, I let it run down in there. And I've still got it taped off, so I need to turn that off and pull that tape back off. So at least that's neutralised now. So hopefully that shit won't come back. So yeah, so what I really need to do is probably pull that back off that, bolt the saw up, and then I need to get the rivets out of that. So that'll be what I'll do. If I've got enough time before lunch, I'll do that. I'll get, because I meant to fucking get these out the other day, but I haven't got around to it. So I need to get those rivets out of there. So at least then I can bolt that bracket back in, wherever that is. I've got it here somewhere. Somewhere. In amongst my mess. No, it's here somewhere. I was playing with it before. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so I can get that temporarily screwed back on there. And then we can screw this to that. See whether it changes shape or not. Just lock the light. Get that screwed to that. Obviously off. So I'll probably have to nickel them off too. Even though they're only there well, not permanently. But I might go to. Oh, yeah, doesn't matter. If I have to nick. Because I'm only going to put 3 in there. That's plenty just to hold it in place temporarily. So I can just nick them off, so they're shortish, so it doesn't catch the radiator or rubber or anything stupid like that. Let's get that screwed back in there. Make sure that's fitting properly. Check it in here. Do some tweaks to the shape of the top of it. And then we can put the bracket back in here. Put that back on there. Get that space properly. Make sure it's square. Probably slip the front valance on and take the crap out of it. Because I haven't buffed it yet, so I'll just have to give it a wipe down. I'll give it a wash and a dry just to get the shit off it. And then I'll tape it out. And just bolt it down with the thing. So I need to do that. So yeah, it's a bit to go on, but yeah, I'll see if I can at least get this in here, back in here today, with that front valance on. So that'll give me all the spacing, and I've got these if I need them to help space their radiator up. It's just some little rubber square washers type things. So I can use them to space that if need be. Again, and then once we get it all on, I'll sort out the hinge stuff and bolt it on. Yeah, I need to work all that out. Maybe sit, or even just sit the top sides on there. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to carry on, check the time, probably go some lunch, and then come back to you. Alrighty guys, so I'm in the middle of a couple of little jobs here, so I still haven't got this sitting in here yet, but I've just trimmed the bolts down a little bit. They're just barely too long, because obviously you got the depth in here that pokes, you know, out, so it obviously sits in here a bit. No, it sits out here a bit, so I'll just trim these back, I don't know, about half an inch, thereabouts. So I've done that, but we're just talking to the owner. We're just talking about door handles, because this is something I've been thinking about and looking at and trying to work out. Let's put you in the tripod here for a minute. So we've got a couple of different variations of door handles. We think this is what's meant to be on this car. We're not 100% sure. Great. So what we've got here, we've got this style and this style, and to be honest, they're probably both Studebaker, maybe ish door handles. The thing that makes me think that these are correct, because this has got no end on it. It's not to say it hasn't been broken off, but it looks like it's pretty flush, if you know what I mean. So that could have been, but I think it's off something else. But the door handles themselves, I'll just see if I can find the inners. Doesn't matter anyway, but they're like a little door handle with a little hole in it that would slip over this, and then there'll be a nice little domed chrome nut on it. But this is the only one of these we've got, and we haven't really got any of these either. You know, that's a good sample, but we think this is what it's meant to be on there. So it looks like this here, this little trim cover that should pull apart. There's a little C-clip in here which I'll push off, and that should let this go and the spring go, and this here is not attached either. That's just loose, like it's there, but it's not tight, if you know what I mean. And I think this here will be a cover, and this here is probably a cover, and there's probably like a little steel, this will be on a steel bar, you know what I mean, and we should be just pull it all apart. So I'm going to just have a little play with that and just see if I can get that apart, and just gently pry this open, and so we can work out how these ones are made and try and make some, and we'll get them, they'll be nickel plated, and the centre of this will be painted black, because this again is something else we need to get done. So I'm going to have a quick look just to pull it apart and have a look and see what the go is, and then I'll go back to the radiator. So I'll just get a fine screwdriver and we'll pry it open. Right, so I got it apart. So yeah, this here was, I'm guessing, after it was put on, I reckon it's been punched down to close it up. So it was a real prick to get off there. So yeah, how hard that is going to be, easy that is going to be to make, I don't really know. Work it out. So yeah, I was right. This here was been countersunk. So when it was, obviously all that other crap was on there, this was on there square to help square it to turn it. So obviously when I've been wrenching on it, it spread it. That was put over there, and then it was painted over to hold it down, and then it was obviously whatever was left was just nicked off to so it wasn't sticking up high. So that's basically how that's all held together. And then that's like that, obviously, with this against there, this on top of there, and then that over there. So that piece there is going to be easy to make. Those two pieces there will be easy to make. That should be fairly easy to replicate. I think I should have, I have to have a hunt. These bits and pieces on doors and bits and pieces, I should better find those. And that there, yeah, reasonably. I've possibly got enough door handles that I can pinch bits of springs off, because this one here has got springs on it, so I could chop that one down if I need to. This isn't the same, but it's similar. If we need to, I've got another one here that's like this, that's broken off. Where it is? Here. Oh, no, it hasn't got anything like that. And I've got more of the other handles here and bits and pieces of handles, if you know what I mean. So I'll have to have a good hunt around, but I won't do that at the moment. But I've got that apart, so I know that we should be able to, if I can make this and this and this will be right, because the rest of it's like, that can just be a piece of steel, a piece of brass, doesn't really matter, because it's been painted black and popped in and closed over. I'm guessing that was just nickel plated and it's just all tarnished up. Yeah, it's just been nickeled. So this has obviously been assembled after the fact. So yeah, this is going to be the fun bit to make. That there, I wouldn't say it's going to be easy, but it's not going to be quite as difficult as that. But maybe if we can, I don't know, make a die in a few sections that we can put it in the press. So I'm assuming, I don't know whether this is just steel and it's just been nickeled. I'm guessing. Or I don't think it would be stainless. Don't know. Could be stainless steel. But it's to get it to press together and form that shape. But whether I can get it to do that or not, I don't know. And I guess this would have been just pressed down. This would have been poking up, and it's just been probably set together, and it's probably had something else pushed down over top of it to punch it together, if you know what I mean. Some tooling. So yeah, it's a matter of, see if we can maybe make a couple of dies to at least try and form that. And this here on the back could be flat for all it mattered, you know. It's a matter of just having a play, I guess. So we can make some sort of tooling to form that. And put it in the press and just see if that 20-ton press would make something like that, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but that's going to be a plan for in a day or two. But anyway, I've got that apart now, so I'll go back to this radiator and at least get that screwed together and take that valance up and sit it back on and whatever, play with that. Right, so where are we at? So I've got this sitting down here, I've got this taped up. I've already had the grill shell sitting in there, and then I've realised that I'd forgotten to freaking take those rivets out. So I've got the rivets out now. And then I thought, well shit, I've got no way to hold it there, because I haven't got the bracket up here either. So I just dug that out, and I've just cleaned it up and etched it. So I'll let that dry, and then I hope I've got enough rattle can black in there, and we'll see how that looks. If it looks okay, I'll put it on, and we'll leave it at that, I think. So yeah, I just cleaned all the little bits up and then just reached it. I gave it a fairly good coat of etch to try and, yeah, just to thicken it up a little bit to make it, hopefully when that goes on, it looks half shiny, if you know what I mean. To blend in with all the other little bits and pieces. So if I've got enough black in that later, I'll give it a quick flick, and at least then I can put it on and it can stay up there. And if it looks a bit crap, I'll sandblast it off again and flick a bit more etch on it, and then try and paint with something better. Cleaning up some other bits. I don't know about this grill shell, or not the grill, the radiator. I'm half tempted. I'll just sit the phone down for a second, I'll come back in. Right, I don't know, I'm half tempted to spray it black. Even if it was satin black. Or something like that, without being a heavy coat. I don't know. Because I know as soon as you spray it, it traps heat. If you spray a radiator core, it doesn't matter what it is, it helps. Basically, it's like insulating, so you don't want to put too much on there, but, you know, it still cools, but you got to be careful that you don't put a heap of paint on there and then all of a sudden it looks funny. But I don't know, we'll leave it until later on, till at least this is nickeled and back. You know, well, we're not going to put that on until then, obviously, because it can't go on. But I'm a little, I reckon I might have to play around with the brackets that are on it, which is a pain in the ass because they're soldered on. Because when this pulled up, we'll have a better look when it's up. We've got all the brackets and everything on. So it mightn't be today. So basically what I might do is give that a little flick with some paint when I come back from lunch. And then I might just leave this stuff alone for a bit. Because this is a real pig of a thing to put up. When it's like that, and it's got the valance on, you can't get into the bolts very easy. So you got to lie underneath, put them up through. So I want to put that brace in between here and here so that bastard can't fall over. Because if it falls over and we're damaged, it will, you know, we're big, like we've already spent a lot of money on that to get it repaired, and we don't want to have to repair this and then, you know, he's already spent money on getting this done, which is going to come back off again, like whether he, you know, tells him to shove it up his butt and tries to get the money back out of him, you know, for just screwing around and making a freaking mess, basically, and not doing things properly. Especially on the inside of it. Like, it's still got to be done right on the inside as well as the outside. Like, even though you can't see it, you know, it starts off, the amount of freaking chrome and plating I've seen, where it starts falling off the inside, and next thing it peels around on the outside, and, you know, it all freaking turns to shit, because it peels right off, you know, it does it all in one thing. So if it comes off the inside, it's going to come off the outside eventually. So we don't want that, you know, we want it prepped properly and done properly. But yeah, I think what I'll do after lunch, apart from paint that little bracket with the black and that rattle can, is I might get this stuff prepped over here and have a go, like I think I said earlier on, have a go at getting get this all wiped down, get all this stuff out of the road, and just have a wee practice with that. And if I think it's going to hold, we don't end up with this stuff turning to shit underneath, or it going really, really queer or something, just dust a really light coat on there. I can get dust a light coat on there and it's going to hold, and I don't foresee any more issues as long as I go gently. Then we will lay the rest of it out, probably like on here. Give this all a good blow down, wipe down, whatever. I'll give it a blow down and wipe down anyway, and we'll just move it out of the road here somewhere. Set this up, spray that one gently, see if it's going to hold. If it's going to hold, get that out of the frickin' road, and we'll just mist the rest and just slowly build it up until I'm happy that it's going to hold and it's not going to, you know, it's not wetting this and it's going to run everywhere, or we have some mad fucking reaction, which is partly what I'm scared of too. But no, other people have done it before, so hopefully we're on the right path. You know, from what I've picked up, we're on the right path. But I don't know if they've used 2-pack clear over top of it, but that's what we're doing. So we're going to try. So at least test sample. If it doesn't look right, well, we can stop before we make a mess of the stuff that we've already got prepared, and we can try something else if we have to, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's what we're up to. Oh, the other thing too is, I had a look at this because I knew that I'd brought this down because it had a couple of bits and pieces on it, and I think I pulled those door locators off, so I've still got to paint at some point. I don't remember to do it all. But I found another little backing plate, so that's cool. Got another one of those. I found some extra springs, and one of these little washers, and I found a couple of these. This was on that door, and you can see that's what it's meant to be. So it's meant to be the same as that, like that's just all rotted away, but at least I know we're on the right door handle, because obviously, you know, that's one off of Studebaker, so I think we're heading in the right door handle, so that's cool. I've got another one here that's very, very similar. I don't know if that's rotted off or not either. It may be, not sure. But also, these here are like solid brass ones, but they're a little bit different. They're similar, but different, if you know what I mean. They're not quite the same spacing with the screw holes and bits and pieces, so they are possibly an option if I can't find some more of these or make some more of these or something. So I'll have another dig up there and see if there's more crap up there, and see if there's more bits I can pinch and hunt for, and see if we can hunt for some more of these. Like if I can find this sort of stuff, that's quite handy. Like if I can find bits and pieces, we'll soon make the shafts and the inner piece, you know. You can soon make that. That should be easy enough. I'm pretty sure you can find the square stock, and I can get my brother or somebody to turn that down, and we'll find some nuts, some nice little dome, chromed or whatever nuts to put on there, you know. For what it matters on the inside of a door handle, it won't matter. I think I found the inside door handles here. I had them sitting here anyway, all along. No, sorry, that's not them. Man, I lose my freaking marbles again. I had them somewhere before. I was looking at them. Isn't that typical? No, that's the two of the hood hold downs. Oh, man, don't you love that? I was looking at it before. I think I was looking at it before. Carburetor bits. Where were they? Oh, here. Man, I lose my frickin' mind around here. Like, just too many bits and pieces started, and you're trying to remember where every frickin' thing is. It's a pain in the ass. I know I was looking at them before. Well, I thought I was. Here's another one of those. So I know I've got to get another one from upstairs, I think. I'm sure I was looking at those bits before. Right. I think it's just crap off the bench. I just threw it in a box. I want a thing. Anyway, I know they're here somewhere because I was looking at them. Isn't that bloody typical? Well, there's those. So I've got the other ones. I need to get them all done and painted. Anyway, yeah, I was looking at them before. I know, because I was frickin' holding them. Unless that... Oh, I'm losing the plot. But, I don't know. I was in amongst them before. Digging through all the little packets of bits and pieces that I was trying to find this stuff, to find that little bracket. But anyway, doesn't matter. I'll find them eventually, I'll show you. They'll be here somewhere. I'll just stumble across them when I freaking least expect it again. Anyway, I'll catch you later on. Alrighty guys, so I managed to flick this before I went for lunch, and I've just given it another coat a few minutes ago. Yeah, things will be alright. It's a little bit, it's not glossy, but it's not dead flat either, so I think that'll be fine. So I'll just turn the camera up. So I've just blown all this, wiped it all down, blown it all down, wiped it all down, and I've just put a little bit of prep wash on a rag, and I've sort of squeezed it through it, and then I let it dry a little bit, the rag, but just so I can just give it a quick wipe, because I don't want to get this stuff. I was trying to avoid getting it damp, if you know what I mean. Like, instead of sometimes with prep, like with on a panel, you know, you would almost sort of squirt it on there and give it a good wipe down. But I was trying to be very generous, or very what do I want to call it, not generous, but just trying to be very, very light with giving it and enough of a wipe with a slightly damp rag, just to make sure there was nothing on top, if you know what I mean, once I'd given everything cleaned out. So I've got my test piece sitting here, ready to go. So I'll spray it in that corner, give it a wee dust with some clear, see how it happens. I might give it a dust, leave it for a few minutes, and then give it another dust and just see what happens. Well, I think we're good, because I can touch it and it's dry. So I'm going to give this another light dusting and just make sure we don't have any reactions. But if we leave it just long enough for it to be dry in between coats, I think we'll be fine. Just enough, you know, and a couple of light dustings, and sort of let it cure up, and then we don't have to panic about it too much after that, if you know what I mean. But cool. I think we're going to have some success. At least something's going to go right, I suppose. Hopefully. We haven't got them done yet. But touch wood. Touch wood. We'll be right. Working so far. We'll keep going. Righty, oh, it looks like it's worked well. Haven't had any reactions or anything stupid. So just a matter of letting it now dry off. It is cooling off, so it will take a while before it fully cures. It should, the gloss should go off a bit. Hopefully it sort of just dries out to like just a semi-shiny wood look, if you know what I mean. I don't want it to be glossy. I just want it to have just a touch of shine. So hopefully that's how it turns out. But looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's just a matter of waiting until the morning, make sure there's no reactions as it cures. I think it should be fine though. It's got plenty of coats on it now. It's probably got, I think I sort of dusted 2 or 3 on there for a start off, and then it's had probably a couple of 3 sort of heavier coats, if I guess. So you can probably call the 2 or 3 dustings, probably 1, so it's probably had 4 coats of clear, give or take, if you know what I mean. I just built it up a little bit for a start off to make sure it did seal, and it hasn't had any reactions, so I'm absolutely chuffed, because that was my biggest fear, not knowing what the wood stain would do. But I think if you can, as long as you're going to leave it plenty of days, like I left it for, oh, what's today? Wednesday. So yeah, like I've left it for probably 7 or 8 days, and almost 10, I think. I'll have to go back and just try and remember when I originally did this, but it was, no, it's today? Monday, sorry, not Wednesday. But yeah, so it wasn't last week, it was the week before I did it, on Wednesday. So yeah, it's been a week, and yeah, so it's been about 10 days roughly, give or take. So it's had plenty of time to dry out. And that was probably the biggest thing I picked up. They said to do, the few videos that I watched, I think I watched about 5 or 6 sort of through, and then just skip through some, just to, you know, maybe pick up some extra tips. But they all the ones that were using wood stain, they left them for at least 5 or 6 days, you know, and I think the longer you can leave it, the better. You know, it just lets it fully dry out, you know, you don't have any issues. And I haven't, and it's got 2-pack clear on it, so it should be good. We'll just let it dry and see what it looks like in the morning. I'm going to bugger off and leave this so I don't disturb any more dust or make any more dust or anything. Just let it cure and let it dry. But I don't want anything to stick in the top of it and then have issues getting it off. I think, you know, there is the odd little bit of dust that's fallen on it, so we won't want to create any more, because it is still sticky and wet, so something could land in it. So I think we'll leave it alone, and see you tomorrow.